welcome back to Everything Entertainment. Guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. I will really appreciate it. Guys, in today's video, we're going to be speaking about South African Human Rights Commission saying that foreign nationals must have access to free healthcare in South Africa. Honestly speaking, this is literally crazy because the South Africans are not saying like they must not have access to healthcare at all, but not free healthcare, Sana. They have an option to literally go to private hospitals, but not overcrowd our public hospitals that are literally operating because of our tax money. That we will never allow, because these people, first of all, they're not paying tax, they're not helping us in any way for them to literally benefit from our resources in South Africa. So it is not fair on South Africans. So Rona, we should literally be squeezed so that foreign nationals can literally sit comfortably. We are not gonna allow that. South Africans right now are fuming, and I get them. I literally get them. Guys, it is so concerning that this South African Human Rights Commission is literally always matching only when foreign nationals are involved. But when it's South Africans, you will never even see them literally speaking about Rona, what we are literally fighting for. It is always on the side of foreign nationals, which is not fair. Wow. Hey, to go is to see for real. Ciao. Without rambling too much, guys, I'm going to post the video here and I will put the rest of my commentary.
The African Human Rights Commission has raised serious concerns about reports that foreign nationals are being denied essential medical care. The Commission says that this practice is unethical, unlawful and violates both the South African and international human rights. It also warns against the growing instances of individuals taking the law into their own hands by blocking access to health care for those they seen as, quote, outsiders. The South African Human Rights Commissioner, Sandra Makwashe, is now joining us to unpack this further. A very good morning to you, Commissioner. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Why did the Commission feel that it's important to issue the statement and also clarity around your interpretation of what the Constitution says?
I think the Human Rights Commission saw it important to do so given the rise in people being denied access to healthcare, but also to remind South Africans of the law and reminding them not to take the law into their own hands. But also, as the Human Rights Commission, our mandate is to promote the observance of human rights, but also educate people on where those human rights stem from. So we did so to remind the general public that in terms of Section 27 of our Constitution, everyone within the borders of South Africa has the right to healthcare and access to healthcare.
Yeah. And as you've seen, maybe with the statement that has now been issued by Action SA, their argument is that there is an abuse of Section 27 of the Constitution. They go on to say that in May, Action SA submitted a suite of proposed constitutional amendments aimed at overhauling key provisions. What's your understanding around this? Because this also influences how their own followers understand what the Constitution says and what is expected.
What takes place is that when political parties do not actually, or members of the public do not actually deal with the systematic issues in the general public healthcare system, then we have this issue where we are fighting, or the general public is fighting for limited resources. And these systematic issues speak about the aging infrastructure in healthcare, the high levels of vacancies, of course, and the unavailability of medication when people go and get healthcare services in clinics as well as hospitals. So those are the systematic issues, and the amendment of the Constitution won't address those systematic issues. What will take place is we hope that in terms of the National Health Act, those systematic issues are dealt with, but also we have financial backing to the Department of Health to ensure that everyone who's entitled to healthcare is given healthcare.
Yeah. In light of what you've just said now around the limited resources being available, is there, though, a case to be made that on the basis of those limited resources, and I think there's common cause around that, that perhaps maybe it is too expensive to implement the ideals that are in the Constitution, and therefore we may need to revisit it?
Based on that, it's not about the Constitution. Once you start amending the Constitution, which is founded on the values of dignity, humanity, and the underlying principle of Ubuntu and treating people with those the same way you would want to be treated, that doesn't deal with the systematic issues. Amending the Constitution won't immediately give everyone access to healthcare, everyone else access to adequate education. And that is why the Constitution speaks about the progressive realization of these specific rights. So it won't really deal with the systematic issues, these amendments. It will simply mean that we're amending the Constitution, allowing certain people to have access to certain rights, and therefore, because of the way the South African borders are, allowing those who really need our help, the most vulnerable members of society, to then suffer because of these amendments.
Yeah. But again, Commissioner, isn't there a case to be made when we speak about the suffering of people, that amongst those people would be South Africans as well, the same South Africans that would have gone to the poll to go and cast their ballot, that gives legitimacy to the politicians who are currently governing the country. But what they find is that you have longer queues that are at these health facilities because government needs to also provide the service to foreign nationals, and the pressure that it applies on the healthcare system as well. So South Africans themselves are being disadvantaged by the Constitution.
South Africans are protected by the Constitution, and that is why we have a constitutional democracy. The difficulty then is hiding behind the Constitution and saying it is the reason why we are in this dire situation, instead of addressing the real systematic issues. And this is why the Commission is reminding South Africans of the importance of our Constitution and the importance of adhering to that Constitution, as well as the legislation that stems from this Constitution.
All right. Again, that point goes back to the limited resources. This morning, we are asking our viewers around who should foot the bill in case an undocumented foreign national wants healthcare in South Africa. And this is now looking at the current provisions of the country. Who should be responsible for covering healthcare costs of illegal immigrants in South Africa? The first option that we have there is the South African government, which means that the South African taxpayer, essentially, their own countries, the countries of origin, 88% of our respondents have voted for that. NGOs and donors, 2% are saying that, and free emergency care, 1% are voting for that. And we know, of course, that the Constitution already covers that part as well, around free emergency care, whether from a public healthcare sector or the private healthcare sector. But there is an issue around who should foot the bill. And I remember the former Premier of Gauteng, David Makhura, had also raised this as well. What's the South African Human Rights Commission's response to this, seeing that in other countries as well, there is an expectation that somebody must foot the bill?
The conversation about who needs to be footing the bill needs to take place in terms of the regions. And as you said, that there is, in some countries, there are laws that say that the governments must then foot the bills for their citizens in those countries.
As you guys have seen from the video, guys, you guys can see the lady, her name is Sandra. She's literally standing born for foreign national. She's not backing up Sana. She's using section 21. Like, they are literally overusing that section so much to literally have best interest of foreign nationals. Why is that happening? Why Tinache Basar, okay fine, we can see why South Africans are fighting foreign nationals to literally not have access to free healthcare in their healthcare center. They should literally say that, but no, they're saying Section 21 is saying that every other person that's staying in South Africa, including foreign nationals, have a right to free healthcare, which is not fair to us. Like, guys, like, this is crazy. When are they gonna fight for South Africans? When are they gonna fight for us? I just feel like, boy, they don't get to experience what other South Africans are experiencing. So they're speaking from privileged point of view. So they won't get it. So that's why we're South Africans, we are literally taking action in our own hands to like get out from our hospitals, because we cannot literally be burdened by you guys. We don't know you guys. We don't know where you come from. We don't know where you come from. So, like, make a plan for your own healthcare service. Wow. For the fact that I just recorded a video, a healthcare worker is literally complaining, and South African Human Rights Commission is literally coming here to literally fight for foreign national to get free healthcare in South Africa. It is diabolical to me. They are not considering our workers at all. Wow, South Africa is really a joke. Foreign nationals are so powerful in South Africa. Like, I never thought these words would come from my mouth, but it is the truth. One thing that this government of South Africa will do is to stand for foreign nationals. Wow. But please comment below what you guys think about this video, guys. Do you think it's fair for foreign nationals to literally fill our hospitals, Sana, whereas South Africans are literally don't have a space to literally get help in their hospitals because of their overcrowding them? Please comment below what you guys think about this video, guys. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. See you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.